you were in the 0.01 percentile of top sales in Etsy.
Yep.
Is it as simple as me asking a question? Why?
It's because of who I sold to. It was the customers I picked. It wasn't the products. It wasn't, I got lucky. It was really being calculated about the type of person we're selling to. And I chose to sell to these Pottery Barn restoration hardware moms who would spend $1,000 on a crib, on like a, clear lucite crib, and $600 on the name sign with their baby's name on it. And that's who I decided to sell to. I was not that person. I would never drop that money on that product. Yeah, but I chose that customer and then built a product mix for them, and that's why.
Is a part of your coaching teaching people how to sell to them?
Yes, and who to sell to. Yeah.
So it's multi-tiered.
Yeah.
Did you have a plan going into it, or did you just see an opportunity? Is it just this idea that you can tell the younger Dylans and those entrepreneurs coming up, and probably, I'm assuming, a passion for influencing women? Don't leave us guys out, but I'm assuming, right? Is that a wrong assumption?
I mean, I would say like 40% of the people I work with are men.
Okay.
It's not that bad. Yeah.
All right. All the dudes selling on Etsy. Let's go. Selling the $600,000 cribs. Okay. Do you tell them just to find an opportunity and take action? Because I'm assuming all the lessons you learned along the way, you learned them. Was there an Etsy and online sales mentor, or did you make all this happen?
So I took really what I learned working for Zappos and then Zulily. And it was really what I learned about the lifetime value of a customer and how to really increase that. Instead of chasing transactions, how do we choose the right people and then just sell more to them? And that's really the framework I applied to Etsy. It wasn't picking a product and hoping someone wanted it. And Etsy, it was actually right after we got married. We moved to San Diego and I didn't have a job, which my mind, it's like I'm very achievement driven, career focused, and not having a job and not getting job offers was devastating to me. I was like 26 and I thought my career had peaked. I actually questioned that. And I was doing all these side hustles, selling stuff on eBay. I was dog walking, house sitting. And then I threw up one picture of a letter J for our last name made out of flowers, fake flowers. And I put it up on Etsy, just a picture. And then a couple months later, one person bought it. So that first sale, definitely luck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What happened to your mind after that first sale when that happened? Did you believe, like, I can do this now?
No, I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? I have to like make this because my husband, before we started recording here, my husband told you I'm kind of like an action taker. Mm-hmm. I had no plan for how to execute fulfillment here. I just took a picture of something for myself. It was personalized for our wedding, put it up there, and it was made out of foam and toothpicks. Okay. He engineered this thing with toothpicks and pieces of foam. We couldn't ship that to anyone. And it was another letter that they ordered. They ordered an H. So basically they ordered it and we had to figure out now, how do we make it? So we actually did a whole engineering thing with wood and we had to go source materials. And my motto, I would say in life and in business, is put the food in the oven before it's preheated fully, Yeah.
Dig into that a little bit more. So you're right on. So what's it mean? What's it mean?
I say yes, and then I figure it out later.
Yeah.
In everything. Yeah.
So when that H came through, because they didn't want a J, they wanted an H.
Yep.
You said we twice.
Yeah. My husband. He's my business partner. He is he's the support. He's the even keeled, military, cool under pressure guy. I'm more of like a little bit more energetic with my emotions maybe. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, we can figure this out. Mm-hmm. And we put our heads together and it's a really cool balance the way we work together on that.
Sounds like a problem solver at an elite level.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah. So you invoked Zappos working there. You said you took a lot of the things you learned from that experience. What are some of those significant things that through that opportunity as an employee, before you were an entrepreneur, you were an employee, most of us were,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
What was so significant about that place? So many of us have heard about it, about just how unique it was.
Yes. It was it was probably the best decision in terms of where I started my career. So Zappos, culture is everything. From the hiring process to how you treat the vendors to how you treat, your coworkers. Culture was really underlying all of that. Their core values were just consistent throughout. And I remember when I interviewed, I wanted to work there so badly. I actually offered, I said, if you don't hire me for this, I will be your janitor for free. I will take out the trash just to get my foot in the door. Just so you know, like I was not going to take no for an answer. I will help this business in some way, even if I'm not paid for it. So yeah, that culture was amazing. And the focus on the customer, what that did, I would say, for the business was created so much consistency. Because once they acquired a customer, there's customer acquisition cost, they kept that customer. And so they could charge a premium because of the experience they offered. And that's even now in our coaching business, we are the most expensive option for sure, but we also deliver the best experience and results. So with that, in the Etsy shop, in any business we've had, it's really maintain that customer experience because it'll just bring you more stability. Yeah.
How did that that's a 10,000-foot observation, right? In principle, but
Yep.
what's that mean about, because we're talking about relationships,
Yeah.
right? What does that mean? What's that look like? You said in all your businesses, you've really just focused on the customer. What's that look like? What's that sound like when you're
Yeah.
engaging with them, when you're trying to obtain this as a customer? What's that look like? Is that
It's
too broad of
really
a question? Yeah.
no, no, in a practical sense, I mean, it's putting yourself in their shoes. So, for example, you get a question sent to you on Etsy. You answer the question quickly within minutes, minutes or seconds, and you anticipate the next question and you answer the next possible question because you know your customer and you know how they're thinking. And so it's really about anticipating customer needs, serving them through stages of their life, right? We always look at 4 to 7 years. We want to keep that customer coming back for at least 4 to 7 years. So what else would they need? How else could we serve them? Um, Speed, that's like is such an easy way to target a profitable customer because people who value their time more than money, they will pay more for that like Amazon Prime shipping experience. And so speed, if you can just, do things twice as fast as the competition, like that's a home run. Yeah.
Yeah, the more successful I've become in life, financially and even mentally capable, the only thing my money does for me is it buys me convenience and time.
Yeah,
And that's the person you're talking about. That's the customer you're talking about. That
totally.
yeah, that's willing to exchange it. And you get to a point in life where I'm still very frugal personally on a lot of things, but I know what sitting in first class feels like versus coach.
Yep.
And I wanted to put myself in a place in life that it doesn't make me any better, but it sure does make the experience of travel a lot better.
Yep.
And it's probably the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, and it's that customer complains less. They are appreciative. They're
Yeah.
easier to deal with. They're not going to nickel and dime you for, something tiny. They're just, it's a pleasure doing business with them at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
it's, there's reciprocity there. And what they value is a really great customer experience, and you can deliver on that in a quick, efficient way. So it's a great customer to target.